We're going to make a little vegan soup today. White bean with cabbage and potatoes and carrots and onions and celery and garlic. Cooked in a crock pot. Put everything in there. Come back in a little under 3 hours and the soup is ready. As long as you have the right ratio of everything to water. We're not using a vegetable stock for the simple reason we have plenty of carrots, onions, and celery going into there, and the cabbage has great flavor, so do the potatoes, and the beans just to be different. So we cut up the garlic. That's plenty. The cabbage. Like so. The celery, you can just cut that in half. Cut large dice, small dice, whatever you like. Same thing with the carrot, same thing with the onion. Now the potatoes have to be cut not that thin, because they're going to be in there and they will probably disintegrate. So like so is fine. And all the vegetables are in there ready to be sweated up. And they're not small because I'm not making a puree of soup. We're having a nice chunky soup with good flavor. We'll sweat this up first. Just put a little olive oil in there. If you want to color it, you can. It'll just change the flavor slightly. We're going to sweat this up. Everything in here is good. Cabbage is good for you, carrots, celery, onions. And if I had leeks, I would have put in like 2/3 the amount of weight of leeks to replace some of the onions, or half and half, or all leeks. But just like vichyssoise, you have to use leeks in that soup. Well, that's been sweating for about 5 minutes, and that's enough. Now we're going to put it into the stock pot, which is right next to it. You don't have to watch me do that, just to waste the film. I'm going to add what herbs I'm going to use. Some bay leaf powder, 1 teaspoon, or 5 leaves, and a tablespoon of dried thyme. Happens to be a very fresh dried thyme, very aromatic. Go to a place that specializes in herbs, the dry ones, that sells a lot, so you know when you buy them they'll be fresh dry herbs, because you never know how long they're in the warehouse, how long they're on the shelves in your supermarket. And this thing, the crock pot was hot, so it's still cooking in here, the vegetables. Then I'm going to add the potatoes and the amount of liquid water. So everything is in there except the water, and you really don't have to measure it, but what you have to do is just cover everything. The vegetables will break down. They won't be as large anymore. They're going to turn into water anyway. So as long as this is covered, and now I'll come back and let's say cover it, it's on high. I'll come back in 3 hours. And at that time, at the very end, I'll add salt and pepper to it. Okay, now 3 hours later, we're done. You have a couple of choices to make. You want to leave it like this, like a stew, nice and heavy. This is a meal in itself. Or you mash it up a little bit to make it creamier. So you take a spoon and something like this, and then just mash. You're breaking up the potatoes and you're breaking up the beans, and before you know it, doesn't take long, you got something nice and thick. The only other thing I'm going to do is bring the liquid back to the level it was. This was filled to the top, so I'm just going to add water to this. Now remember, if you were making this non-vegan style, you can add beef broth instead of water, chicken broth, any kind of stock that you want. Just make sure it's a liquid one and not one of those powdery kind, which really have very little chicken in them. So now you add some salt to your taste. I'm going to add some sea salt. I could put hot sauce in there if I wanted to. Black pepper, white pepper, so I'm going to put some hot sauce. I like this one. Not a lot. And now look at the consistency. We're going to put some in a bowl. We're going to add a little more water just to bring it back to where it was. So the amount of stock or water that we started off with was correct. Just bring it back to the level. And if you want to break this up even more, go right ahead. Just mash. It smells good. The fresh thyme, well, it's not fresh thyme, but this dry thyme that I use is so close to fresh. I don't think anybody could tell the difference, because like I said, I've bought thyme in the supermarket. It's nowhere near as flavorful as this one is. Okay, that's it. Let's put it in a bowl and see what it looks like. Put it in a soup plate. And I'll have myself a nice little meal right here. How's that? That'll fill you up. And it's healthy. Enjoy.